You know, Disney, there comes a point where you need to realize something. Pixar used to make amazing movies that were 8 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s. I consider Toy Story almost a 10 out of 10, the original. I don't know what is going on at Disney at the moment when it comes to managing Pixar studios and greenlighting or preventing ideas to become movies. But I am generally shocked at this movie. I honestly was not hyped whatsoever when it came to this movie at all. And I'm going to dive into why this movie was a gigantic disappointment for me. It is a average okay movie. I want to state that at the beginning of this review. Turning Red is a very average, run of the mill, generic, safe movie you have seen done a million times already. They sprinkle in a couple new things so it's new and original. However, it's semi original because there are so many things that Turning Red rehashes and reuses from past movies, like Toy Story, like Luca, like Encanto, however you want to pronounce that movie. Forgive me. Um, but this has got to be one of the worst movies I've ever seen when it comes to a Pixar film. This is one, if not possibly the worst Pixar movie I've ever seen. And I never thought I would live to be able to usher those words into existence and have to put that into a video and put it onto YouTube. But I don't want to sugarcoat the fact that this movie is bad. It has so many problems. Now, for those of you who don't know what Turning Red is, it is a Disney Plus exclusive. It just got released onto Disney Plus. I am happy though that it is on Disney Plus. You don't have to deal with the stupid $30 rent paywall nonsense that Disney Plus was known for in the past several years. You can just log into Disney Plus and it's there for you, and you can watch it as part of your normal subscription service. So I am happy about that. This film is a very average coming of age. It's animated, it's got some comedy moments, it's got some fantasy elements to it. And it follows the character of May, and she's trying to balance her life of being a 13-year-old girl. She's trying to balance her life of friends and family, and she has the ability, because of some sort of family lineage, to transform into a fluffy, gigantic, cushy red panda. However, first negative I really want to discuss, or second negative I want to discuss, is that it is super similar to Luca and other Pixar movies that have come out before. And thirdly, like Luca, this is a Pixar movie that is getting little to no marketing, and it doesn't have a theatrical release. If it was not for me checking every Friday to see what was newly added to Disney Plus, I never would have seen it, I never would have watched it, and I would never have reviewed it for you guys. That is how little the marketing is for this movie. Even in theaters, I think I saw one trailer for it. That's it. And as a content creator, I haven't really seen it all that much online. Now that it's been out for several days, now the hype is out there. The problem is the marketing should be pushing this movie to let audience members know, to let subscribers know this movie is coming out. I mean, we knew for a fact, even before the trailer dropped for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, there were leaks and rumors that it was going to come out on May 25th. Why is it that a big, gigantic Disney Plus movie, even being made by Pixar, famous for Toy Story, doesn't get at least that much marketing. It doesn't get anything. It gets trailer and you see it every maybe once in a blue moon. But it's really strange that this movie just doesn't have that much marketing, and the marketing push now happens after the movie's out. It's like that's completely backwards marketing, and I'm sorry, but it does not work. I know for a fact that a lot of people don't even know that this movie is out, and that's another reason I'm reviewing it for you guys. It is out. However, Disney Pixar has failed to let audience members know this movie actually exists. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, "Oh, it probably got delayed or whatever," because there's not been any marketing push to say, "Hey, it's coming out." Um, with the pandemic, that things have constantly been shifted around. Things are constantly getting delayed. Things are constantly being advanced. Like I know for a fact that right before I recorded this video, good news that Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods, it was supposed to come out June 2023, has just been bumped up and it's going to come out in December 2022 of this year. So I'm excited for that movie, no matter what. But I'm like, at least they're updating their audience on the release date. And there's, we got into seeing some photos and some little teaser clips and whatnot. And possibly Black Adam's going to be in the movie, which would be awesome. But for Turning Red, getting back to the review, Turning Red, it doesn't have that strong marketing push. And I think a lot of people are going to gloss over this and forget that it completely exists. It is strange also, next thing I want to talk about is diving into the movie now. It is strange that this movie tackles the topic of female puberty and adolescence. However, the small amount of marketing that has been put out seems to be targeting a much younger demographic. It targets a younger audience, whether that's for boys or girls. It's targeting a younger audience that doesn't care nor does understand adolescence. And the lessons and the messages that are in this movie is fine, but they're meant for 13, 14, 15, 16, maybe 17-year-old people, but the movie isn't targeted to them. When you watch the marketing campaigns, the trailers, the advertisements, this movie looks like it is targeted to a 7, an 8, maybe a 9-year-old. But the lessons and the messages that are in this movie is for a completely different demographic. And I'm sorry, but that hurts the movie because I knew that that's what it was going to do a little bit. But I was hoping that it didn't dive so much into it and it really goes hard into it, which is just, okay, fine, whatever. But I was kind of blown away and kind of confused when it came to the target audience. Like, I know for a fact this movie has nothing to do with me. This movie doesn't target me whatsoever. I'm 27 and I'm a guy. So I know for a fact this movie isn't targeted towards me, but I still watched it hoping that there was some sort of glimmer of hope because it is a Disney Plus Pixar movie and I was hoping for greatness, but I was extremely let down. Because of this gigantically bad marketing and the lack of actual targeted audience members, it leads to a very boring, a very messy, and a very confusing movie. And this movie has annoying characters rather than charming ones. The humor that is in this movie is extremely off-putting and sometimes cringy. I didn't really laugh at anything in this film. And all the messages and the lessons and the metaphors, you've either seen them 100 times or it's very confusing and sometimes they kind of like go against each other. I feel like I'm on a broken record and I'm just ranting and rambling, but this movie failed to hook me. Now, this movie might be better suited, like I said, for the actual targeted audience, whether that's 7, 8, 9-year-olds or 13, 14, 15, 16. But as a movie critic, this film failed to hook me and keep my interest for the first 10 minutes. If a movie doesn't hook me and engage me on the characters, the plot, motivations, character arcs and development, the world being established, and us seeing little trail breadcrumbs of the world going to expand in the movie. We don't get any of that in the first 10 minutes. It's just a bunch of dialogue and characters doing things for the sake of doing things. And I had to force myself to finish watching this 1 hour and 47-minute movie in order to review it for you guys. And although this film was unique, I can't say for certain that I actually care to rewatch this movie. It's boring, it's messy, and it's confusing. That's the best three words I can describe Turning Red. And my lack of hype for this movie, because of the lack of marketing and because of the film being very generic and things I've already seen 100 times before, I think it's one of the worst Pixar films ever. I know there was a lot of manpower put behind this movie to get it out, but it's not original. And I really hope that whatever Pixar does next, which I believe is supposed to be the Buzz Lightyear movie, which I have zero interest in watching because it's a prequel to the original story, to the original Toy Story. So I want a Toy Story 5. I don't know why they're doing this prequel Buzz Lightyear movie. I don't know who is super excited for that. I guess there is a targeted audience that's gonna go see it, but it's not me. I probably won't watch it. I have Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm more excited for 5 and 6 that they say they're gonna make eventually. So with Turning Red, with all of the positives and negatives that I have discussed, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It's a very average movie. If you have Disney Plus, watch it once, but it's going to be very forgettable. It's not a movie that I can say you should sign up for Disney Plus to watch this exclusively. It's just another Disney Plus movie, and it's something I guess you can plug in for your 7 or 8-year-old. Plug in, I got Blu-ray on the mind. It's something you can put on for your 7 or 8-year-old child and entertain them for almost 2 hours. But do keep in mind, like, it does tackle topics of adolescence, so it may not be something you want to show to that demographic. It might be something you want to show to a little older audience that might understand what's going on in the film. So Turning Red gets a 5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys all have an amazing day. I'll see you guys next video or stream. Bye, guys.